CrossFit Milford to find out what is CrossFit all about. So I've enlisted the help of the coach and owner, Jay. How you doing, Jay?
I'm very well. How are you? Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, good, yeah. Well, thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Inviting us here into your boxes and sit on these boxes. I'm just gonna try to use box as many times as I can if you haven't picked up on that by now. But Jay, tell me a little bit about your background.
Okay, so went to college for physical education and health. From there, I was a basketball player. Pursued my basketball career, played overseas for a little bit, and after that, I kind of got back into my degree in health and fitness.
Okay.
So opened up the first facility in Milford around 8.5, 9 years ago. Changed that over to a CrossFit gym. So we've had CrossFit Milford for about 8.5, 9 years. From there, we've also branched out to other areas in Shelton, in West Haven, in New Haven, and also working with a couple police departments as well, as far as putting like CrossFit Milford training inside their recruitment classes.
Awesome. Okay, and the reason that we're here talking to Jay is because just like in bodybuilding, you can have a bad coach. It makes a big difference in your experience with the sport. It's the same in CrossFit. So Jay actually has had a team that placed second this past year in the CrossFit Games, which is like the Olympics of the CrossFit Games, right?
Yeah. So CrossFit Games, like it's the top echelon. That's the Major League Baseball. That's professional football. That's the top bodybuilding level. That's the Olympics of everything. So
right.
For what we do with inside CrossFit, the CrossFit Games is the best. It's less than 1% of the population make it, less than 1% of the gyms make it. So yeah, it's a pretty big thing.
Right, and just like with bodybuilding, with the Olympia and it's all of the world. So second in all of the world, which is pretty incredible if you think about it.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Yeah, it was an awesome experience being there. It was an awesome experience just kind of working with the athletes and seeing their dedication and drive to get there. You know, with anything else, is a little bit of luck, but it was great.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and just like because of this is why we're here talking to Jay, because he has the knowledge and it's proven. So, Jay, we just have a few questions for you.
Sure, love it.
They say CrossFit is a cult. So, Jay, is CrossFit a cult?
I think everything can kind of get into a little culty environment, you know. I think bodybuilders, they have their terminology, they have their water jugs, they have their gear. Powerlifters have their terminology and their component, and they hang out with people who are going to deadlift and squat and bench a ton of weight, you know. CrossFitters are the same realm. They have their language and their lingo and their gear and their environment. So I think anybody who gets really excited and really passionate about something can definitely kind of walk that thin line of being too passionate and too excited about it. We've definitely seen that a lot inside the CrossFit world. But is it a cult? I mean, I don't know. No, can it do wonders for people? Absolutely. It gets people confidence, gets them an environment where they're going to be with other people who are doing what they want to do, and it's going to get them fit and healthy. So, I mean, if that defines a cult, then I guess that's a good cult. I don't mind that. Yeah.
That's very true, very true. So the next question I get a lot is, why is it so expensive?
I think where the price point for CrossFit comes into play is that it's done in a group environment, right? So you have a coach. It's not like you're coming into the gym and just kind of like doing whatever you want to do, but doing this, doing that. And the people who do that, the people more experienced, a little bit more focused. You know, you're going to the gym and you know exactly what you want to do.
Right.
And you do it, and you have your program. People who come into the CrossFit gym don't quite understand what they're going to do or know what they do. They might not have exact mechanics. So it's almost like coming in and having your own coach, your own personal trainer in every single class. So hopefully if you are at a CrossFit gym, it's done in an environment where the class setting is well situated to allow for lots of feedback and technique and cueing with the coach. But excuse me.
Yep.
The price point comes in because it's like you have your own small group class with a personal trainer every time. So that's right. If you compare that to doing that at any other gym, it's going to be more expensive.
Another question that I get are people who are interested in actually trying CrossFit, but they're worried they have a bad knee or bad back, and they're worried if they can still try CrossFit. Can they?
Absolutely. I think the most important thing that you can do in that situation, if you're coming off a knee injury or back injury, shoulder injury, is do your research. So know what gym you're going to, talk to the coaches, see what they do to change things up for you, how they're modified for you, what you should and shouldn't do, you know, and do your due diligence. And if you get in there and you have a bad feeling that you think they just don't quite understand what they should be modifying for you, then go to a different gym and sort that out. It's just like you were saying earlier, that it doesn't matter what field you're in, you can have a bad coach in anything you do. You can have a bad football coach, a bodybuilding coach, everything, right?
Yep.
And they can give you the wrong information and tell you to do the wrong stuff. And same thing with CrossFit. So make sure you do your homework and you know the trainers and you know the experience, and talk to them and inform them about what injuries you have going on, what ailments you have going on, and then make sure that they're doing the right things to keep you safe and healthy. And if that's the case and they do help you along the way and they know what they're talking about, then yeah, you can do it and you progress, and there's tons of things you can do and be fit and have fun.
Right. And the last question that I get the most, and we get the same question on the bodybuilding side of it, is if I do CrossFit, am I going to look like the girls I see on TV?
If you want to.
Good answer.
So, you know, and we both know there's so much at play there, right? I mean, there's stress levels, there's nutrition, there's sleep, there's the stress adaptation of what you're trying to do and trying to create. But if you're just coming into the CrossFit gym to have fun and you're not looking to compete and you're not looking to be like the top echelon and you just want to do the classes, and then no, you're not going to look like those females. You know, you're going to be. They look that way because they have to look that way to be the best. Like if you're going to win a bodybuilding show, you have to look a certain way. If you're going to be a track star, you have to look a certain way. And if you're going to be one of the best CrossFitters in the world, you have to look a certain way.
And my last question is, I know I may have lied about the question before, but it's just simply a lot of, you know, our subscribers follow a bodybuilding style split or bodybuilding style training. So they want to be able to use CrossFit, you know, a couple times a week as a strength and conditioning program. Is there a way to do that, and does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, and this is something I talk to a lot of clients about, is just be aware of your stress adaptations. So if your main focus is bodybuilding, then you have to make sure that your training and where you're applying the stress pertains to that, to get the desired effect that you need. And then you can supplement in CrossFit as kind of like conditioning, get sweaty, have a little fun, but you have to be aware of the amount of stress you're applying in your body through CrossFit, amount of stress, load, volume with the weights, to make sure that it's not going to offset what you're trying to create or gain with your bodybuilding. You know, and if you be aware of those parameters, or you talk with someone who is aware of those parameters, then I think you can still do it and get a good mixture, put in some good supplemental work, and have a fun time.
Okay. So the workout that you're going to show us today, how often would you recommend someone who's following that kind of regimen add it into their weekly routine? Once a week, twice a week?
Yeah, I think the cool thing about fitness, no matter what world you're talking about, is that there's so much you can do, and there's so much you can take from and develop and play around with. So what we're going to do today is we put together a workout, and it's something that you can do once a week or twice a week. I wouldn't really do it more than that, you know, it's just going to be too much of the same stuff. But you throw it in there, and we look to do movements that are going to work your arms and your upper back,
right,
but not put too much stress on kind of flexion and extension or going overhead too much, right? So it's a good kind of combination of movements that you can utilize for someone who's super new to CrossFit, that's not familiar with lots of technical movements, and we just put it in a certain amount of reps and sets per time,
right?
And then we'll show we can scale from there too.
So ideally, you would do your cardio, you would do your morning cardio, your lifting session, and then you would follow up with this workout. So you've depleted your glycogen, but you've got the shape you wanted, and so it's going to help with a little extra conditioning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So what are the 4 movements? Are they called movements? Let's use some CrossFit lingo. That you're going to take us through today.
We're going to work on pulling the sled, so hand over hand sled pull. Work on the upper back, work on your buys. From there, we're going to go into a farmer's walk to kind of get the shoulders going a little bit, get some trap involvement. And then the last thing to do is just a plank hold, you know, and the plank hold with the arms straight to kind of get a little bit more stress in the shoulders. And again, the purpose of this movement was to show how it doesn't have to be super complicated.
Yep.
It doesn't have to be something that you see on TV that you're just like, wow, I can never do that. So something like this, anybody could do.
Right.
And then we can even show how you might scale this up to different movements working the same muscle groups.
Good. And these are all movements too that you don't actually have to be in a CrossFit box to do, right?
You can do them wherever.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, let's get to it, man.
Let's do it.
All right, so what we're gonna do is Jay's gonna show me, because I've never done CrossFit before, I know nothing about it, I'm just as uneducated as you guys, a beginner level, like extremely, you know, beginner from every single point that I need to learn, right, Jay?
Correct.
Right. Now, for those of you that might be more intermediate or advanced, we've brought in Christina. Hello.
Hi.
And Christina is a CrossFit competitor.
Yes.
Correct. Awesome. So she's going to be showing some more advanced movements, and Jay's pointing out maybe some more advanced technique that she's using. So that we're kind of getting everyone here. Sound cool?
Awesome.
All right, so the first movement that we're gonna do, we're actually taking 4 movements. One is gonna be a hand over hand sled drag. So Callie's gonna be in a quarter squat position. Now, if we go through some points of performance here, right? One is a nice athletic stance. We're on a quarter squat position. I want our weight rooted back into our heels. I want her chest up, and I want her back nice and tight, okay? So nothing's kind of relaxed here. From here, she's just gonna drag a sled, hand over hand. There we go, we get it going. She's working on those arms, upper back, lower lats, traps, shoulders, kind of everything's working here. This is one of my favorite movements. You can put whatever weight you want on it. You can make it as hard or as light as possible and kind of like change different effects for you, you know?
Yeah.
The next movement that we have is a ball slam. So, very simple, the ball slam, all we're gonna do, you're gonna get in a squat position, you're gonna squat down, pick the ball up overhead, you're gonna slam the ball down. And the objective with the ball slam though, is I want you to catch it on a bounce. So as it comes down, you gotta squat down fast with it and catch it just on a bounce. So as we go down to pick the ball up, we're squatting down, I'm kind of corkscrewing my feet into the ground, activating my glutes, driving my knees, keep my knees in line with my toes. When I pick the ball up, my chest is up, my butt's low. As I raise the ball overhead, I'm gonna slam it down. As I slam it down, I'm catching it the same way I picked it up. So your butt's gonna be low, chest up, big, strong, neutral spine. Yeah, and now let's pick the ball up overhead, slam it down, and go get it. But that's the technique I want. So whether you catch it on a bounce or not, you can relax. Whether you catch it on a bounce or not, but that's the intensity that the ball slam is.
Okay.
So when you throw it down, you get it down super fast, try to get it in that good squat form.
Right.
The next movement is gonna be the farmer's walk. So when you first pick it up, I want you to pick it up with a flat back. So just treat it like a deadlift. Yeah. Stand up with a weight. I want you to work on pulling the shoulders back and down. And what almost might help with some individuals is think about kind of rotating the thumbs out. So that position there. That might feel a little awkward for some, but if you're someone who has bad posture, it's very easy to allow, rotate these shoulders, that to happen. So I want to kind of have these thumbs pointed out, keep your shoulders pulled back and down, and this is even a good structural development workout as well. So you're going to finish in a walk.
Did I come back?
Yeah.
This is kind of fun. Why is it called the farmer's walk?
I think farmers used to walk with buckets. Yeah, there you go. And then the last movement that we're going to do is kind of top off the shoulders, just a plank hold. So we're going to get down on the hands. We're going to squeeze the stomach, and we're going to hold the plank. Stomach stays in tight. We're not overly arching the back. Good. And come on up.
That's it?
That's it. So those are the 4 movements that we have for this one workout.
Okay.
The way we kind of make this into a CrossFit WOD workout a day is we grab, say, 15 minutes. And we say you do a 15-minute AMRAP, so as many reps as possible, okay? So you can do a 10-meter sled drag, so that counts 1 rep. After that, you're gonna do 10 ball slams. You're gonna do a 20-meter farmer's walk up and back, and then a 30-second plank hold. So just like what we talked about earlier, for someone at the very entry level of CrossFit, very low on the technical side of movements, something that's not gonna put a lot of stress on your joints. You don't have to worry about not being able to do a movement because it's kind of just squatting, pulling, and walking for the most part, right? So
right.
That's what we have for today. So the one thing that's great about CrossFit is that CrossFit is universally scalable. And we're gonna take Christine over here and we're gonna show you just one way that we can scale this workout up. Again, the focus being arms, shoulders, and back. So something that Christine's gonna be doing, instead of hand-over-hand sled drag, she's gonna be doing strict chest-to-bar pull-ups. For the shoulders, she's gonna be doing strict handstand push-ups. So now we have the farmer's walk. And a way that you can scale the farmer's walk is simply to go heavier. Once she gets to the pull-up bar, she's gonna put the kettlebells down. We're taking away the plank hold and we're supplementing in another higher level skill, and L-sit hold. Good, come on now. So something that's so cool about CrossFit is that you can see this workout is still predominantly gymnastics, right? So there's time priority and there's task priority. This is time priority workout, meaning we're going for 15 minutes. And it's very much gymnastics focused. We can also switch up and put in barbell movements for weightlifting and monostructure movements like running, rowing, or biking.
All right, ladies, so there you go. There were 2 workouts that you can add into your upper body days after you lift. You have your beginner option, and you also have the advanced that Christina showed you. Both of them were provided by Jay, who next week is going to be showing us some lower body workouts.
Yeah, so next week we'll show you some lower body workouts, and we'll look to have some different components of CrossFit, meaning today was very heavily weighted with gymnastics, so next week we'll go a little bit more with the barbell. We'll also go a little bit more time priorities, so instead of it being like 15 minutes, you might do 5 rounds or a certain amount of rep count, and maybe we even throw in like some running, biking, or rowing for that matter. So we'll change it up a little bit, show some more variance of what we can do, and add it for the lower body.
Awesome, and all these workouts are also going to be available on our Print2Go site, so you'll be able to just download these and take them right to the gym. So thank you guys so much. I also want to know, and I know you guys want to know, where you can follow them on social media.
Yeah, so social media, a lot of our stuff is posted on CrossFitMilford.com. We have a CrossFit Milford Snapchat as well as an Instagram. My own personal stuff is on my Instagram is Jason Leydon. My Snapchat is Jason Leydon as well. And I think that is it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Christina.
And my Instagram's xtina1303, and that's also on Snapchat as well.
And I just have to ask, is it one X? Is it a capital X?
It's a lowercase x.
And awesome. Is there any fun CrossFit words that you say when you're done with a workout? After you go to the WOD, after we finish the WOD, right?
After we finish the WOD, at the box, doing an AMRAP. Are there any finishing words? I think it's more like a lot of curse words and spit and rolling around. No, I'm kidding. No major finishing words, unfortunately. Awesome. We can make one up though.
Okay. Okay. Make up a word.
You make it. It's on you. Crushed it. No. You made me feel really weird on camera right now, Callie.
Really?
Yeah.
You know that they can feel that, right?
They
Okay,
feel
crush
that.
it. We'll get it in for crush it on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Crush it!
They went down, I went up. We'll see you next week.
Unison. We're in unison right now.